Welcome. Wees All 8 is back. Episode 8.
Episode 8. Ons is
binne. Ons is
binne.
binne. New week, new month. Oh my
Great
word.
month.
Great month.
People are born in this month. And obviously it's my birthday.
Parties.
My birthday. Of course.
Party man, eh?
It's my birthday. And the guest that's gonna be on our show. Sy birthday is die dag na my, ons vier het sommer saam. Gemakkelijk.
Why are you guys so in a rush to getting older?
No,
Oh
getting
my
wiser, they
word,
say. Getting wiser. We're gonna get in it tonight. We're gonna talk all things rugby. We're gonna talk your Super Rugby, your Six Nations, huh? And
Talk about it.
your URC.
URC. But the most important thing tonight.
What? Oh, before you say anything, the Blue Bulls lost that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's time. It's about time. But
Jouw huis, soos sy gesê het, jou huis, my reels.
yes.
Jou huis, my
Ek het
reels.
voorheen gegee. But vandaan gaat ons we gonna sift the gear. And Ferrari. Less talk, more speed. Less power, more speed. I so speed.
And the person that's gonna be on our show is Speed. Huh?
Talk about it.
Shut
What we talk about? What a phenomenal person. What? He's not just phenomenal. He's fast as hell, eh?
Oh.
Talk about it. He's
A
even
family man.
Yeah.
A family man.
A teacher.
A teacher. A role model.
An ex-sprinter.
Ex-SA sprinter. And wait for it. Somebody that beat Gatlin in a race. In a 100 meter race.
It's
Yes.
It's easy.
Ek ken ook mense soos julle mense ken.
He came through my hands. I so speed, so he must so speed. Talk about it. Talk about it.
None
Easy.
other
Then,
than Roscoe Engel.
here we go. All 8, we are back. We welcome our boy, Roscoe Engel, the ex-South African sprinter. Roscoe, welcome in. And thanks for joining us tonight on our show. It's a privilege for the All 8 and the All 8 viewers to have you here. Just something different from rugby.
Something faster.
Something faster.
Something
faster.
Something faster.
Roscoe,
We
here
all
we
know
go.
rugby is closely related to speed. Yes, you're on your wing and your back line. So it's actually an honor to come and speak on a brand new up and coming channel, All 8.
Amen.
So thank you to myself, Adrian and Angelo, Mr. Peterso.
Here we go. The one and only.
So Roscoe, let's get into it. So who is Roscoe? Where is Roscoe from? And just tell us a bit about your background.
Well, Roscoe's a stubborn boy. Stubborn enough to want something so badly that's all I ever wanted to do was athletics after a certain age. Who's Roscoe Engel? 100 meter sprinter, specialist, also involved in the 200 meters over the years, but it was always 100 meters that did it for me. And it's been a long road ever since 2006, I would say, when I actually started my career at Milnerton High as well as at Tygerberg Athletics Club. And it skyrocketed so fast that it was almost overwhelming.
Yeah. It was that fast.
Yeah.
It was that fast.
Roscoe, what inspired you to start sprinting at such a high level?
Well, I was involved in at one stage football. I was involved in rugby as well in high school and in the same time with the sprinting. But it was the addiction of going fast. You either have that feeling or you don't. And once I tasted my first win, I couldn't go without not winning more. I just had to go more and do whatever to go faster. And if somebody beat me, I'd go the next extra mile to find out how can I go faster.
So if someone beat you, you get more addicted.
I was even more inspired to go
Sure.
faster.
So Roscoe, with that being said, well, I heard rumor has it that you beat Gatlin. Is that statement true?
Yes, it is true. It happened over the 150 meters actually. It was a national event where they invited a few international athletes like Justin Gatlin along with 2 young other Americans. And I was so excited. It happened so quickly, flew up the same day to go and compete in Pretoria. And I just got so excited and I made a statement online that today I'm going to beat Justin Gatlin. I was serious in my own mind, even though others didn't believe that fact. And I beat Justin Gatlin. Rightfully so, he traveled a long flight and might have been a little jet lag, but the fact remains the same. It's a stat today.
And is it true at altitude you run quicker?
Yes, there is a slight benefit in the shorter sprints.
Yeah.
Anything longer, like you guys know, rugby can last for quite a long time.
Yes.
Training.
The burn in the chest as well as burn in the legs, but for sprints it has a different effect. For you go slightly faster because it's air pressure that changes from sea level up towards altitude, so you can go. Some athletes benefit more to 0.2 faster, I'd say. Some actually have a different effect completely, but I myself have experienced faster times.
Ja, dit klink nou soos 'n Formula 1. Wat praat oor wat karre.
That's the pedal.
But Roscoe, you know, you've been walking through competitions for years now, and can you walk us through your routine when it comes to competition day?
Most people, or most athletes have the same, so very similar routine in their own way, but it's all very similar. It starts the whole 2 weeks before your big competition. Like for me at my age now, it's much more different. I like just having fun talking, but when you're in your elite state, you actually start preparing and getting nervous 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
You've trained so hard and put so many hours, the nerve starts building. Is it going to work? You don't know. It's a mystery, and because every race is different, your competition is different. So mine was just building up, walking into the shower, the bath would steam up, and you start writing your time in your mirror.
Here we
So
go.
as a junior, I did that, and I wrote on the mirror 10:32. And I visualized it all the time. And every time the bathroom steamed up, that would actually still be there until obviously everything was washed down again. So that was my way of getting ready and being stubborn enough to believe it even before it happens.
But they say the same was they spreek it. You
Yes.
speak it in existence.
Speak it into existence,
You
like
speak it into existence.
like most things in life. I guess.
Viewers, once upon a time, I was also a sprinter in my days.
VJ!
I was also a sprinter in my days. In my days, I was a sprinter. Do you believe in me? I can still do it, but
I believe the head will go backwards and
definitely.
with your speed going
Listen
forward,
here,
the head
guys.
is gonna-
Guys, that time on school, an 100 meter. You know what I like the most about it? When I go and set up now to go the 100 meters, and the people saw me. Yo, he go. They know. 14 seconds straight.
It's a sprint.
It's a time,
nevertheless.
it's a time, it's a time, it's a
Everybody
time.
has their own power.
Hulle sê as it's ooit, hulle moet sê, hulle sê mos, almal kan sing,
Yes.
maar almal kan nie mooi sing nie. Nou is dieselfde ding, almal kan haloop, maar almal kan nie so vinnig haloop.
Yeah. Let's go. That brings us terug. What was the most challenging part of training for the 100 meters?
Training for the 100 meters is something you must first understand. It's easy to go to the track and just sprint like a wild person. You also need good guidance. So this is in the form of your coach that you fully put your trust into. And most of the time as an athlete, you don't understand all of it because the science is not up to you. Your job is to stay clearly focused on getting from A to B as fast as you can. The weapons to get there is the job of the coach. He's going to instill everything in you that you need to actually go from A to B. Now for those that actually understand more, it's all about power. Power is distance over time equals power.
Shoot.
So the distance in
Albert
this case,
Einstein. Albert Einstein. Easier.
in this case we're talking about 100 meters.
Yeah.
To travel the 100 meters over a certain time equals your power. So now this is where the coach will go, his extensive time and put it into the research as well, because coaches are also always learning, and that is the important part. So the most difficult part is actually when a coach says you need to go do so many 300 meters in your training preparation, and you know the burn thereof. So you have to mentally get over the difficult part of training.
Yes.
And just be, I would say, a mad dog. Send it.
Yes.
You can deal with the feelings afterwards and the pain.
How's the Henny's feeling afterwards?
No, they burn. You actually question, do you still want to do athletics after the difficult sessions? You lay there and you're like, why do you do this to yourself? Year in, year out. But this is completely normal.
But I guess the moment when you're done, then you don't regret it.
No, you don't regret it after running your personal best. No matter, for each athlete, it differs. Some will run 14, some will run 11, and so it goes.
Why would you talk about my 14? My 14, it's a Montague 14, guys. It's a Montague 14, not a South African 14.
Yes.
Once you enter that tunnel in Montague, my record is still there. No one can beat it.
That is your fastest, and it
Yes.
needs to be respected. So
Yes, it's my fastest.
for each athlete to their own.
To each
and-
their own, yeah. And then Roscoe, if we're now looking at overall, what was your personal best time?
My personal best in the 100 was 10.06. The 200 meters, you're making me think now, it's been a couple of years. 20.4, somewhere around there. Definitely 20.4. But I have to confirm the correct time for you. And this was a week after I beat Justin Gatlin, so I kind of knew my form
Yes.
was going to be there. And also altitude played a good role, as well as Tux Athletics.
Yes, yes.
The university also has a beautiful track that actually, it's an original track, not synthetic. So you have the
You can
opportunity
move
to go
with it.
fast.
Yes. You letting me think now, man. Ja, ek was 'n hurdler back in my day. Ek het groot dolle gehad, maar ek kon gevlieg het. Ek moet vir jou sê ek kon gevlieg het. I was a shot put in like later in high school I did shot put, which I was actually good at. I never knew until I just tried it. And
But you're a tall figure, so hurdles would
Jesus,
actually
man,
suit you.
ek sal nooit
Roscoe.
vergeet nie. Never forget.
Roscoe, jy kan dit glo. Jy kan dit glo.
Ja, brother, as my ander vrou nou geliewe. Nee, maar
Ja,
jy
maar
sal die
doen.
video's gesien het. Kyk
Maar
hier so ek
This
vlieg.
guy want
Kyk
to
hier
talk
so
about
die 110
die ice though.
Hey, die 110 meter ekkies. As CPUT se trek kon gepraat het. Brother, ek het gevlieg, maar die 105 200, die 200 meter ekkies. Brother, ek sê vir jou ek is seker 50 meters voor jou.
But kyk,
Die laaste, die
Jy's
laaste
Money's boy,
ekkie.
so a Money's boy is always
Die
a
laaste
favorite.
ekkie. Toe val ek weer binne by boer.
Yeah. Roscoe, and then what is the best piece of advice you ever received from a coach?
I can even name him. Coach Ali. He was back in the day, he resided and coached in KZN. And eventually, why he was also chosen as a coach for these national teams. So when I spoke to him after my late coach Bruce passed away in 2012, and I went back and forth and tried a bit of working with a person here and there, and eventually I decided, let's give it a go. I'm gonna speak to somebody, get consultation, as well as another person that you guys are familiar with that I had long chats with, Elroy Dixon, very good sprints coach. And eventually with a little bit of mentorship I decided I'm going to put my own program together and let's see where this goes. Took me 2 years to get into rhythm because I'm basically testing on myself
Yes.
to see what works and what doesn't work, what would get you injured, what is the safe zone like. So yes, the best advice that Coach Ali gave me, it's not rocket science. Only rocket science is rocket science, believe it or not, it is. And through my experience and years in the game, I can say that is the best advice somebody's given me. It's not rocket science. You can do it.
Simple. Now, Roscoe, I know you're a coach as well. We're gonna get into that now. But I wanted to ask you, besides Gatlin's race that you won, right? That's obviously like a international star. What was like one of your memorable races that you can say like, yeah, you will never forget that day? Whether it may be you had an injury and you ran, whether it may be it was just the best race you ran for yourself, whether it was your personal
Yes.
best or not.
I mean, there's actually a few of those because they build up each into another. And my first best one was breaking the 11-second barrier the first time.
Shoot.
That's the one you'll never forget. And it actually happened at Belleville Stadium in the engine series. So we were the younger racers building up to the big race where you had your Morne Nagels, Lee Julius and those guys. Those were the big names. And I broke into my first 10-second run and I think it was 10:99. It's just there, but it's there. It's on paper. And then later on, progressing through, and then I think my under 19 high school race, the 100 meters, I got my first national medal. So I think I ran 10.5 something or 10, I can't remember so well. Then the following championship was the club nationals, the ASA nationals, Athletics South Africa. And there is where I actually made my first national team. So I remember the final so well because I placed second, and then with the time that I ran in the competition, I also qualified to go to my first world junior champs in Poland. And from there it was a senior progression in, we ran in Durban, next to the Shark Tank, you know, between the Shark Tank and the World Cup Stadium.
Oh,
So it's quite intimidating to be between the two very big buildings. Anyway, and I dropped my first 10.1 on that track.
Shoot.
So another one I won't forget. And so it goes that there were races and it built up to the Gatlin race. And the following week I ran my PB of 10:06. So to break it down to one race is really impossible.
Yeah,
because
there's
so much good moments. Or actually there's so few that those are the ones that stick.
But Roscoe, you still have lots of moments because you're still running. If I'm not mistaken, you're still running your masters.
Yes, I decided.
Do you still compete?
Yes, I still compete. I
I
throw myself in between those youngsters to try and keep myself fast, and they've become so fast that I actually have to decide, okay, take a step back. You're only going to hurt yourself because you're not training as much as these full-time athletes anymore.
Yes.
It's wake up, baby must go to creche, get prepared. It's go to school, be a teacher and parent of 30-something kids in your class for 7 periods. It's go out the building to go coach. It's go to the club to go coach. In between there, you must train, you go to gym, jump on a YouTube channel, you know. So yes, there is still competitions going in the masters category, which is actually very nice. It's much more relaxed, still competitive in its age groups. So I think I'll stay in athletics for a very long time.
45 to 50.
Yeah, let's hope that Achilles will hold, you know, the body age does something else.
But
to the
Roscoe,
body.
you still running a sub 11, eh? So you're running 10. What's your time now? Plus minus.
Last year, towards the end of the year, I think I dropped a 10.7. I'm sure I dropped a 10.7. Then this year so far, I've done a 10.8. You know, but it's so difficult to try and train with all school athletics and everything, and me being head of athletics at Malta. There's a lot to do, a lot of stress, but to do it for the kids. But there's a little bit less time. But I think let's make a bet. I'll drop a 10.5 April, May.
Sure. Here we go. Roscoe. Yeah. How do you feel when you at the starting blocks? Seconds before a race. It's showtime. Showtime.
Well, a lot of people are honest with us. We all scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Did all that hard work go for nothing? Am I not going to be fast? You at my age, there's a different scare, you know, injuries. you're not so young anymore, recovery is not the same. So there's a lot of butterflies and it's related to all those things. But as you get older, you get smarter, you actually start overthinking things. This is how it goes. And when I ran the 200 meters the other night, when they said on your marks, I actually asked myself, what am I doing here? And I enjoyed the burn and I enjoyed the race. But yes, if there's no nerves, you're not going to perform.
Type piggy, klein piggy. I remember when I always used to racing, kry ek so op pie. Dan sê, hallo ek gou vinnig, ja, as miskien so 3 rows weg gaan my race af en dan mas ek hallo ek, I'm like, I need to go to the toilet kom. En dan kom ek weg.
Ek het dit ingehou. Ek dink soms het dit my vinniger gemaak om dit in te hou.
Ja, meneer.
Dis so, dit maak hom vinnig.
And when you get to that start, and as amper soos like when you get and when they say and your marks. Ja, as ek voel dit amper soos okay, nou gaan alles net dan na die res ding niks pie nie.
Ja,
all nerves.
The nerves does do that.
Roscoe, a lot of people don't know. All three of us are UWC alumni.
Yes,
UWC
indeed.
alumni.
I'm actually surprised that you know this fact. I heard it, I think last year or 2 years ago, somebody actually reminded me. But it's been so long that one actually forgets.
I think I was still in school when you were at
It was
UWC.
2009.
Just
Yeah.
Yes, ek was nog op laer school.
I think you still had some hair. You still
I had
had
it.
We talk about hair, it seems like you also losing yours.
Oh,
Huh?
you didn't even want to give me a brush earlier to try and fix up.
I don't even need a
Cover up a little blank spot.
Just to get it.
Ja, weet je, like oh blank hier op een kant.
So Roscoe, and how was like being an athlete like in terms of international? If you look at your era, because you know there's different eras. If you look at your era compared to the era that we're in now, like what has changed? Like, is the kids much quicker? Is their training like advanced, like more advanced? Is there like a difference between like your era when you ran international compared to like now currently?
Definitely there is a difference from when I competed, even as a youngster, compared to the youngsters now. Like I said earlier, coaches always learning newer things, newer research comes forward, and then the coaches usually adopt these. Because you have to keep your cup half empty and learn new things and throw out things that might not have worked. So yes, coaches are much more advanced. The athletes are faster at a younger age, you know, and some sê ons kos die kinders so slim vandag, maar wat is in die melk of so.
Yeah.
But the same thing here, the coaches come with different approaches, and youngsters are getting so fast that we are now becoming recognized to the world. Ons het ons almal gesien by die Olimpiese spele, het ons silwer medalje gewen. En daai was 3 jong manne met Akane Simbini wat in sy 30's al klaar is. So yes, I will say, and I'll take that leap of faith, South Africa has moved a long way forward. And this is a lot to do with privatization being invested into our sport. So don't want to speak negative of where support should be coming from, but at least a lot of privatization has actually helped the sport in certain areas go much beyond my imagination. As a youngsters are running 10-1s. It's common in South Africa now. So we're seeing this move forward when you look at an athlete like Benjamin, who ran a sub 10-second race. He ran a 9 at the Olympics in the semi-final and didn't make the final. So it's not just that South Africa has moved faster, the whole world is moving faster. So there is a big advance in South Africa where performances and training is concerned.
And then there's something that came to me now. I see a lot of our athletes moving abroad to America to go and study, go run for the States. I think it was one of the Dixon's athletes. I don't know if he's one of his athletes.
Yes, it's a common practice. Some athletes do. I had the option and chose against it. I'm a family-oriented person, so I did not want to leave my family. And yes, and the young athletes that actually do take the opportunity, you've seen benefits from it. They some athletes actually stay there afterwards
Yeah.
and build a career for themselves, and there's opportunity there.
Yeah.
So it's usually, I think the biggest one is the NCAA organization that offer athletes full scholarships as well as good coaches. And but remember, all the universities are not the same.
Yeah.
So you have to do your research and try and get in contact with these athletes that have been there to get good advice. Because just like anywhere else, some places are not as good as others. You can't just go on what an email says or somebody's word. You have to, as an athlete, go do your homework.
Roscoe Engel, in conclusion, what advice would you give young sprinters looking who's busy preparing himself for the future to sprint on a high level or international? What advice would you give?
It's a difficult question, this, because there's so many aspects to answering this question. On the one hand, a young athlete must experiment, and then on another hand, you have to also trust your coach. So choose your leadership very well is the best advice I can give any youngster, because not everybody's the same, not every athlete's body is the same. So if you train with me, you might perform, but Adrian might not, because of different styles of body composition that you have. So to see me coach you and you going very fast doesn't exactly mean Adrian goes very fast. So experimenting to see what works for you, and then when it starts working, trust your coach. You put a lot of your faith in your coach. If you don't trust your coach, how can you perform? How can you trust the training will convert into performances? And then there's another aspect of having a career one day, which involves money. What do? There are agents involved and stuff. So again, do your homework.
And then there's one question I want to ask you. With regards to a student athlete, do you believe in student athlete or do you believe in athlete student? So should you be a student athlete in terms of, you know what, I am focusing on my, if in your case, athletics,
Yes.
but I need to also think of the future, my career. So am I gonna do this joint, or am I gonna, focus on the athletics, and when the athletics is done, then I wanna first think of it.
This very much depends on the level of the athlete. An extremely fast athlete will have more options to be a full-time athlete and get sponsorships. Where one maybe just one level below should consider having education. But my personal opinion, you have to have an education in South Africa.
Definitely.
There's not big opportunity to say that you have financial freedom after 2 good years.
Yeah.
And the third year, maybe you get injured. There's nothing to fall back on. You have to have an education. I think I started studying 2009, and I took a break and I went again, I think from 2016, somewhere 2017, and I carried on for a while, and I made sure it was difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
I got married, I had a kid, we bought a house, we did all these lovely things, and then there were studies, and then I started working on top of it. And I thought, how am I going to do this? I just bit the bullet, took what I felt like was a little bit of suffering, and got my education. So this is a very personal choice, but one of them has a bigger backlash than the other, which is being a full-time athlete and not getting an income because you are injured, or something permanently injured your sporting career in any sport. So I believe in a balance, that you must have something. If you finish your education earlier, it still gives you years of athletics or rugby or
you can
football.
focus on it, yeah.
Then you
focus
can,
on it more.
but obviously you go play for let's say Liverpool or Manchester United.
Liverpool, yeah, Liverpool.
That type of financial freedom is a different question.
Yeah,
Yes, but that's a whole different country.
That's a whole
further
different
developed than we are in South Africa.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yes, in South Africa, my advice, you need to have a balanced academic and sporting career.
There you go. All 8 family, viewers, young men, young lady, please, we beg you and we motivate you. Make sure education is first, because education is key. You can be the best sportsman ever, but education first, then sport. Because that's what we stand for, I guess.
Exactly, and we are fast tracking you with the fast guy next to us.
Definitely.
So take in, because you don't know if you're gonna get that opportunity. And when you get that opportunity, you need to decide what to do.
If
And
you
then
are-
you can always go back, speak to people, advise or get advice from people.
Here we go.
And that's why we also here. We know people, ons ken vir Roscoe.
Here we
so,
go.
So ons kan hom enige tyd by jou.
Ons kom by jou in minder as 9 sekondes.
Sign
So
a contract, let's
So
go.
guys, remember, student athlete and not athlete student.
Amen.
Here we go.
Rugby report. So we had our Super Rugby and first game, Moana Pacifica against the Islanders. Close, intense game, 29-31.
Sure.
Then we had
It was
another
a-
close encounter. Waratahs 29, Fiji Drua 24. I mean, it was epic encounters in the Super Rugby. Then
Physical.
physical.
Definitely.
Then we had our Chiefs 49-34 against the Brumbies.
Sure.
Eating the Brumbies, but I mean it was like a
I think-
push with shove.
But I think that the Brumbies didn't take the opportunities they had.
The Brumbies, you know, they're there, but I don't see their full potential.
Yeah, and they're not eager enough. They don't want it more than the teams,
Yeah.
understand? So it was
And Damien McKenzie, X Factor.
nothing nice.
Oh.
Nothing nice.
Then we had the Hurricanes 29, Blues 33, another nail biter. I mean,
Yeah.
Super Rugby is not anymore slaan sakke. Daar's niks slaan sakke meer nie.
There's no walks in the parks, you know what I'm saying?
There's no
But
walks
I
in the
think
park.
for me personally, the Blues is just another level.
I think
The Blues are another level.
they taking the past campaigns and they're putting it like the puzzle together.
Definitely.
You know, it's a team that won a lot of trophies years ago, and now they're slowly but surely getting into that rhythm. So
Again-
the more you win, the more you want to get the trophies. You know,
And you
it's-
build a lot of confidence
it's
along
like
the way.
the Stormers, for example. They played two finals in the Super Rugby, they couldn't win it. They played the first final in the URC, they won it. You know,
Definitely.
so it's a build up. It's a build up. It's a build up. And then obviously the Force, yes, the Force is something else. They lost narrowly to the Reds 24-28. But I mean the
It's
Reds
a-
scored in like the 76, 77th minute.
Although it's a Super Rugby campaign, but you must remember, this is an Australian derby. So it's personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's players that know each other, and who wants it the most? At the end of the day, is the team that wants it definitely the most.
Yeah.
But I guess the Reds was hungry for this.
They were. I mean, they scored in the dying minutes, but I think like all credit to Australia for getting things in order.
Definitely.
I mean, you can see the
And I think-
performances that each of
And I
the
think
teams
with
are
this
putting
with
up.
the Super Rugby campaign, they will definitely perform better in the next World Cup, I guess, because
And I think in the championship, I think it's good for them
Yeah, but-
to perform in this aspect, because now I think the coaches are putting two and two together,
Yeah.
and I think they're
And
gonna have a decent
Great
championship
combinations,
as well,
I guess.
because, I mean, it's tough, and I mean they're gonna come to South Africa, playing South Africa in South Africa. It's
Yeah,
gonna
but-
be tough.
no, not to South Africa. It's easy, boys. Don't you them? It's easy. You World Cup winners, man.
Then we have our URC Munster losing to Edinburgh
Edinburgh.
28-34.
Yeah.
The Scottish is doing something, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
They-
I think they do want to win.
They're improving. They have a lot of South
Yes.
Africans over there, but they're improving. I think that's the main thing. If your club structure is
right.
in order, your international team will
Definitely
automatically. You can see with Wales, their club structure is struggling,
Yeah.
and that's why they are
Struggling
struggling
in national.
in international level. So
Definitely.
you can see Scotland doing something. I mean, I must give credit to them.
But they wanted, man. They wanted, and you can see how they play every minute of the game. When the ball is going, they go.
Yes.
You understand?
And that's important. Just stay going and be positive, because that's the thing that a lot of clubs need within their space. Positivity. And if you
100%.
get the win here and there, get the win, you build up. And that's what you want to see. I mean, even by us, you will see if we start winning, you will see like everybody's spirits, the whole club
Definitely.
spirits, it lifts.
Then let's talk about the Lions and the Sharks. 38 Lions, 14 Sharks. It was, I won't say it was a shock for me, but I think the Lions was hungry.
I think I think it's sad for the Lions also. Before the game, they got an announcement that their main sponsor, Emirates, is withdrawing from, I think, June or May sometime. So it was tough on him, and I think they obviously they put a stamp on their name and say like, listen here, any big sponsors out there, we're beating one of the top clubs in South Africa.
Although they're the Lions, they were well known as Emirates Lions.
Yes.
I guess. So now they must change again, and I think that's a lot of factors that can messing around with the mental space and what. But it's up for the Lions. I think it was a great one.
I must say that they performed exceptionally well, and I mean that try of Edel van der Merwe where they switch and he's running in that channel. And did you see
the
that
celebration?
Boy, die mense kyk te veel Amerika.
You know, last one. Bulls versus Stormers. I gotta give that one to you. I'm not talking.
Brother, I must tell you, eerstens die weer daar in Pretoria. Meneer, ek sê vir jou, dit het gelyk amper soos
waternat.
Hulle het gesê het gevloei. Ek dink daai water het net so die Stormers geanoint. Ek gee dit vir jou vanaand.
So right man. Die Bulls gaan finals speel. Ek is die Bulls gaan definitief finals speel. Ek sit my geld op hulle so. I know. When it matters, they win. But yo, let's go boys. Let's go.
I think it was good for the Stormers to get back, you know, after the struggles that they had. I mean, losing to the Lions, convincingly losing to the Lions, going to Loftus, wet Loftus, beating the Blue Bulls at Loftus. Dit moet gedoen wees, maar jy kan sien die Stormers hou van swem. Julle weet om te swem hier so.
Ja nee. Ek gee eintlik die Stormers well done on the Stormers on winning the Bulls at Loftus. Not anyone can do that.
Not anybody.
Not even the New Zealand. And the New Zealand club team. Never.
No ways, brother. And then obviously your Leicester 42-24 against Cardiff. Well, struggling once again. Ulster beating Scarlets 30-28, close game.
Close game, tight, I guess.
Tight. Glasgow Warriors losing 31-32 against Ospreys.
I didn't expect it.
I didn't expect that. But Ospreys is one of the stronger teams within Wales. So and normally it was like your Scarlets, but I think they more in the background.
And I think they deserved it.
Yeah, I think that it was coming. It was coming for them. And then Connacht 38, Benetton 30. I think Benetton is a team that you need to watch out for.
But
unpredictable.
This game was
any team, anytime.
This game was a bit shaky, man. Benetton coming to the areas where they should finish, execute, but then all of a sudden they back again in the own 22. So
silly errors.
It was difficult for them. I watched the game a bit, but no, man.
And then ends. I'm gonna hand over to you, Club Rugby.
Super League. Hey, here we go. Club Rugby op voorstoep. Here we go. A lot of excitement happened this past weekend.
It was a good weekend.
Good weekend was Super League, I guess. But let's have a look at the results.
Bellville on Wednesday night, losing against Amadeus 24-33 at the Rosina Park.
Just to delve into Bellville quickly, apparently they're doing great.
They're doing good. They're getting a lot of injuries, which is it's not good for them. But Jonathan Adams doing an exceptional
great job
with the community, because I mean, if you look at any club now, Bellville currently has the most players within the community.
In the
playing
community,
with them.
yes, definitely.
Other than your
Yeah.
Hamlets and your Atlantis,
Yeah.
places like that. Bellville is one of the clubs
I
that
think
has the
that-
most people within the
And I
community playing
think
within the community.
that's why they do so good, I
Yeah.
guess. Because if you see a team like Amadeus, they're not a bad team.
They're not a bad team, but
They're great. They're great.
shopping, huh?
They shop a lot.
Shopping, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, Michal
But-
was Rutief at its best.
For Bellville to give such a performance against them, I guess it's up for Bellville.
It's up.
Because Bellville have a lot of games behind the back now in a short period.
But it's good for them. It's good.
Yeah.
I think the more you play, the more you tend to find that combination. And I think that's good because a lot of the senior guys is putting up their hands and also helping the youngsters
Yeah.
whilst doing that as well.
Then, Mamari in
Hey, Mamari,
ATL, Atlantis, 33,
33.
massive derby.
They won that game also in the dying moments of the game. So like big ups to Atlantis because Mamari is one of the better teams, or let's say great teams in Boland, because they played, I think,
Yeah.
not last year, before they played top
2 years
12.
ago, 2 years ago.
They played top 12, great
Yeah.
team,
Great
and,
team.
and Atlantis climbing. I'm really,
Yeah.
really impressed with them. I
There's
mean,
definitely improvement.
ending in the top 6 last year, almost getting promotion to the Super League B,
Yo.
to the Super League
C.
C.
Super League C.
No, Super League B, sorry.
Super League B.
Super League B, sorry.
Then-
I think they're doing something.
Yeah.
Something there.
But
that
whatever you're doing, Atlantis, keep doing
keep
it.
doing it.
Keep doing it.
Get your
Because
people.
there's definitely improvement.
Get your people. I mean, there's lots of players or kids from Atlantis moving abroad, not abroad, but going to other provinces, getting scholarships, universities, and they need to try and get that boys back. If the boys are back in Atlantis, get them
Definitely.
back. Community local is lekker.
There we go. Unimal Franzoek, Unimal 47, Franzoek 50.
I think it was good. They tested us a lot. Franzoek is a great team, know how to spread the ball wide, and I mean they run from everywhere. They fly off, have a educated boot on him, and I mean he put us a lot. First off, they played with the wing, so they were putting us all time in the corner. So they
basically
were controlling the game.
They used to
when
win.
they were using the wing very smartly. But I think towards the end you could see the experience of
and the
guys
physicality.
like Caldermas, Lucky, Claypool, Chad Geswind, all of that guys coming through.
Cheslin Robertson.
Cheslin.
Nothing nice.
Oh meneer.
Oh, rooi wijntje.
Hy het gelyk soos of hulle sê mos ou rooi wyn proe lekker. Nou, hy het gelyk soos 'n jong man, Sarah.
Sjoe.
Kyk hier so die manne,
Ja.
ek dink die manne is hier man.
Cheslin Roberts, boer.
Ja,
So
nee.
4 seisoene makkelijk.
Huh?
4 seisoene nou makkelijk.
Ja.
Dan kyk ons daar, Verliersdorp en Verliezers.
Yo, the big one, Villages
Hulle
beating
gaan
them
brengen.
57-0.
We're not gonna...
Verliesdorp.
Ik ga het nog uitbreiden waar ik game want...
Tough one. Falls by Helderberg 43.
Sjoe.
Helderberg getting the W at the Bay.
Not the easy one, eh?
Not the easy
Not
one,
the
but,
easy one.
but also the Bay have a lot of players out, so they use a lot of youngsters, uncapped players that
Sure.
they played. So it's good. It's good for them. It's
Yeah.
good for the depth. I mean, they have great depth. They always have great depth. So friendlies you can't really read from it. But ups to Alderberg.
Yeah, definitely.
Beating
We
them.
have one day.
It's tough.
Definitely.
Winning there. Yes, it's really tough.
But heads up, Helderberg. Well done on that
It's
one.
up for them. Then we have Tigerberg 21.
Kayla.
Alto Towers
Kayla's
River 19. I mean, I know at the stage the score was 21-5 or 21-7 half time, and Tigerberg never scored any points in the second half.
So they just played ball but didn't score.
Yeah, all the points in the first half, but
well done.
Cold River is really climbing, and the players that played this weekend, I mean, gee whiz. Anze Manuel and
Yeah.
Cold River.
Adi, Meniel,
Yeah, and
Banner.
then one of Shumla's players also played. Cleo. Is Cleo? What's
Chad.
his name? Chad. Yeah, Chad is also at Cold River. He played Saturday, so. I mean, Cold River
Soft
doen
life.
baie inkopies hoor.
Stilletjes.
Stille waters, diepe grond.
Dan Kraaifontein.
Kruivenstein van der Stel. 7-27.
Van der Stel.
Van der Stel winning Kruivenstein. It was their sports,
Yes.
their sports day at Craven Rugby Club. But
I think it was about to happen, man, but
I think it's good for Craven because
Yeah.
they also building a team. I mean, last year they just missed out on losing against Van der Stel in the semis
Yeah.
and missing out on the promotion. But I think they can potentially do it this year if they keep the same structure, the same systems
Definitely.
going. Because I think you can't really change a winning combination. So I
Definitely
always
not.
say like you can tweak here and there, but not change much.
then, this is actually, I didn't expect this to happen.
I spoke to Vian. He said score was 33. Emmy's Brackenfell. Emmy's coming out of the win, but he said that wasn't really the true reflection of the game. So maybe because Emmy's have a big squad, he said they put like the last 20 minutes or 10 minutes they put on like a whole new squad. So
Sure.
and they were playing with only 23 players. So
Yeah.
it's
So
understandable.
they played basically against 2 teams.
Yeah, so it's understandable, but I mean it's good. Pre-season is all about testing
Yeah,
combination,
definitely.
getting that specific combination going. And I mean,
100%.
Brackenfell, it's always tough.
Tough,
Yes,
definitely.
It's tough. They just know how that field runs. I mean, that
Exactly.
field is narrow. It's not the biggest
Muddy.
field. Muddy. So they know that field, and to win there,
It's difficult.
It's really difficult.
All Eight family did your club rugby results from the past weekend. And Adrian, this coming weekend, we have also a lot of rugby.
A lot of rugby, but we will post on our socials all the fixtures. So please check out Facebook, check out Instagram, check out TikTok. We will provide you some fixtures in
Definitely.
our socials, and please, guys, once again, I'm gonna ask you, please like, share, subscribe, because we are trying our utmost best to get our content out to you. And we just want you guys to share love with us.
Definitely.
And then once again, don't forget about our ball drive. We will also post that. And please comment in our comment sections if you want your school to be sponsored with
Balls.
balls. I mean,
We will reach out to you.
Roscoe, thanks for being on our show. We really appreciate it. I think our viewers, our listeners of all really appreciate the talk because I mean, ja, het het vir ons 'n bietjie biology gegee. Het 'n bietjie vir ons Formula 1 gegee. Alles in een.
I'm so speed.
we just like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts because I think the message is
Clear.
Is clear, and I don't think a lot of people would have thought that you would answer that question, that advice, the way you did, but you explained it in such a way that it makes sense in the various stages because you have your top athlete, you have your middle athlete, and then obviously jy het 'n bietjie laer, 'n bietjie meer werk moet gee.
Yes. Your academics.
Yes, your academics. But thanks for being on our show. We really appreciate it from the All Eight family. And we're gonna have you again on the show. Definitely, we're gonna have you again on the show.
One of the biggest athletic coaches, eh?
Of course, rising meneer. Ja, maar die daar doen sê hy fly high in Dubai.
Dubai, yeah.
Yes, brother.
Some oil money.
All Eight family, it's about time.
It's about time. It's about time.
And Roscoe from me as well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
It's a massive
But-
pleasure.
We need one thing. Is it one?
It's 3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
All Eight family, ons wil net vir jou sê, jy moet like,
Jy moet share.
Subscribe to all 8.
Here
Here we go.